Hey, welcome to the Portland House Party, a special celebration in support of the Architectural Heritage Center. We're joining you live from Northeast Portland. I'm Alan Dennison, and I'm here with my co-host, Katie McGee.
Hi, folks. Hi, I'm happy to be here this evening. A big welcome to everyone joining the house party from your own home. Tonight, we have a great program to share with you. It's about an hour long, full of architecture, stories, games, and special appearances. But mostly, it's a celebration of the work of the Architectural Heritage Center. Okay,
now normally, Katie, we'd be in person at our gala auction. My wife Martha and I have been personally attending this auction for, well, okay, almost every year for a lot of years. But this year, clearly we can't do that, so we're on video. We don't have a live dessert auction. Too bad, we can't furiously outbid each other for the chocolate cake. But our celebration looks different this year. The important thing to remember is that we're still here and we're still coming together to support the AHC. Another thing that hasn't changed is that tonight is an opportunity to show that you believe in the mission of the AHC to make sure historic places remain an active part of our future.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. If you're watching tonight, you have a connection to the AHC, and our organization's work means something to you. Maybe you love our programs on Portland's built environment, like the discussion we recently hosted on the history of South Portland. Maybe you've called the center with a question about your vintage home, or maybe you've read a blog article and learned about an important public policy that could impact the city's landscape. Whatever way you've connected to the AHC and it has benefited you, we're asking you to show your support by bidding and donating tonight.
Katie, you talked about the people being connected to the AHC. This is something that makes this organization special. The connections between the members, the volunteers, the staff, the board, and many others. Basically, we all know each other. And we know all of you too. You and I were asked to be co-hosts of this special evening because of our connections to the organization.
Yeah, that's right, Alan. And I know you have a long history with the AHC.
Well, yeah. I was one of the founding board members. I was chair of the board for 12 years. I was treasurer. I was on the board for, shall we say, many more years, and it seems like I've been an advisor forever.
Yes, yeah. You have worn many different hats for sure. In fact, you don't know this, but we have a photo from 1999. That's right, we're going to party back like 1999 when you were volunteering to move architectural artifacts from our collections storage facility. Oh. Ooh, it's right behind me.
Oh, oh, yeah, and I know a lot of you are going, oh, yeah, I bet I picked up those artifacts at least once, each one of them, but thank goodness, here's good news. We don't have to worry about moving the artifact collection anymore. Last year, even during the pandemic, the AHC received a long-time goal of consolidating the artifact collection into a single site. So now we have a more secure, permanent, yes, and expanded storage for the collection. In fact, one of the items that you can bid on in the online auction is a private tour of this facility. Ooh. The collections are normally closed to the public, so this is a rare experience. So Katie, tell us more about how you're connected to the AHC.
Well, Alan, I'm on staff and part of a dedicated, hardworking team. But speaking of the AHC collections, my first experience with the organization was before I joined the staff. It was as an active volunteer. Once a week, I came to the center to catalog the archival collection. So I only had to organize paper, not cast iron, like you.
Let me see, and to get even, make it fair here, we have a picture of you volunteering in the library. There it is. Yep. Katie, in 2016. Looking good?
Yeah, well, thank goodness I was wearing some white gloves. I knew my stuff. Well, we know a lot of AHC volunteers that are out there tonight. Okay, so I'm inviting all our volunteers. In a typical year, they give us so much help, 3,000 hours of their time. They're our biggest supporters. If you're a volunteer, we want to hear from you. So go to the chat window. It's right next to me. Say hello. Oh, we've got an arrow.
There we go.
Yeah. We're calling our walking tour docents, museum volunteers, board members, or any AHC volunteer. Please say hello.
Yeah, greet each other. So tonight we have two parts. There's the program you're watching right now. That's us. We have a lot planned for this part. We have architectural quizzes, the launch of two exciting new videos about the AHC, and this should take about an hour. Part of this is the second part, an online auction and online giving. Very important. You can benefit the AHC through some robust bidding on our over 20 amazing auction items. I've checked these out. They are cool. Just make sure you're registered to bid. Now, to browse the online auction, you go to the AHC website at www.visitahc.org. I'm sure you're familiar with it. And click Online Auction. If you want to watch this show while you're keeping your eye on the auction, it's easier to use two devices like your computer or your cell phone, or you can open two web browser windows, however you want to do it. The auction is going to be open until Sunday, February 28th at noon, so you have about 2.5 more days. Of course, one of the most direct ways to support the AHC is through a donation. Do we have a slide?
Oh. Well,
maybe. Okay, if not. There we go. All right. To donate, click on the donate button. You can also make a donation by text. Not to confuse you, but there is yet another way. To do this, you text VISIT AHC, that's VISIT AHC, to the phone number 56651. 56651. You'll get a link that'll take you through the same simple process, and you won't lose the show while you're doing it. It's very easy, they tell me. So you got here, so it can't be that tough. You can do this. So don't be intimidated by the fact that it's online.
Yes. You know what? It's easier than finding yourself a vaccination appointment. Yeah. So, but if you do need help, folks, call 503-231-7264. That's the direct line to the AHC. Folks are there. We've got volunteers there to assist you. We don't want technical challenges to keep you from giving to the AHC. I know we have a good-sized crowd tuning in tonight, and we want to hear from you now. Go to the chat window, say hello, tell us what neighborhood or city you're watching from, just like those classic telethons, but now interactive.
Absolutely. We want to make it easy for you. If you want to donate, we'll find a way for you. You know, there's an entire team who brought you tonight's event. All the volunteers, and putting on a virtual gala takes a lot of work. And there are some special folks that we really want to thank. Our 2021 Gala sponsors. Now, these business partners really stepped up to enable the AHC to bring you its first ever virtual gala. So thanks to our presenting sponsor, the Dan Volkmer team. There he is, okay. Our auction sponsor, Earthquake Tech.
Thank you.
Yes. Our platinum sponsor, Charles Schwab.
Thank you.
There you go. Our gold sponsor, Archiform. And our silver sponsors, Craftsman Design and Renovation, Laurelhurst Asset Management, and McCoy Millwork. Thank you all. Thank you so much. It really gets us a big head start on this. And now we'd like to introduce our presenting sponsor, the Dan Volkmer team, and thank them for their fantastic ongoing support of our work. So let's watch this video from the Dan Volkmer team.
From the baseball diamond at the park, a young Casey Jones might visualize bouncing a home run off the Fremont Bridge. You're that close to the city.
Hello, I'm Dan Volkmer, real estate broker specializing in historic and architecturally significant properties, welcoming you today to a very special paradise.
And now, while you virtually stroll by some gems we've had the joy and honor to market, let me tell you why the Dan Volkmer team wants you to bid big. Give generously at today's fundraiser. AHC enriches us. The array of programs, tours, workshops, exhibits, and shows is open to all. This is not a private club. Because of the variety of offerings, there's something for everyone. You will meet like-minded people, experts in skills you may need but do not possess. You may find your soulmate in a woodworking class. Who can forget the Minor White exhibit, a Portland photographer who became world famous? His photos of the Front Avenue buildings and the Knapp and the Cam houses prior to their demolition are hauntingly beautiful in showing the tragic, desolate beauty of their demise. AHC supported the nomination of the nation's longest-running drag queen club in Portland's Old Town. Not your usual, is it a craftsman or a Victorian lady? She's no lady, that's Darcelle. Tune in to the panel discussion to see how the AHC team got the Darcel 15 Drag Club on the National Register. Another favorite of mine is the deeply researched and well-documented program on albina, a cautionary and relevant tale of a thriving artistic African-American community broken apart due to overt and systemic racism and urban renewal. Where's the social justice today? Well, first it starts by telling the story. Thank you, AHC. All the above and more AHC provides, honoring Portland's history. This rich resource is the wellspring that renews our faith that Portland's future can and should be bright. Help us get there by spending big today.
That was Dan. Wasn't that great? Thanks again to the Dan Volkmer team for their commitment to Portland's unique residential architecture and for their support of the Architectural Heritage Center. Reminder that if you want to participate tonight in the auction or make a donation, click the, you're going to know this, the auction button or the donate button. Or to donate, you can grab your phone and text Visit AHC, VISIT AHC, to phone number 56651, 56651. You'll get a text message that will take you through the payment process. It's that easy. Okay, now we want to have a little fun. Well, we're having fun. We hope you are too. But even more fun, an architecture quiz to see you if you at home can name this Portland building, okay? We'll have one round of the quiz now, and we'll have another round later on in the evening. So we're going to show you pictures of 3 buildings and see if you can guess what they are. So to play, go to the chat window and type your answer. The first person to answer each question by typing the correct response in the chat window wins a free ticket to an AHC tour. And keep in mind that if you don't happen to catch one of these 6 tickets, you can always sign up for the architecture tours because they're a lot of fun, and the ticket prices still donate to AHC. So I know there are a lot of architecture experts out there. This is probably going to end up being a fast typing contest, but let's do it anyway. It's fun.
Yes,
okay?
And I agree. I want to let folks know that our walking tour season starts very soon, March, in fact, which is coming up next week. So we have over 90 tours scheduled this year happening all around Portland. So there's a lot for winners to choose from. Last year, the AHC continued to bring you outdoor walking tours with COVID health precautions in place, of course. So the tours were really popular because they provided a way for people to get out safely and explore neighborhood architecture and history.
Okay, so ready to go? Find your chat window, get ready. You all set? We're going to show you 3 pictures of 3 different buildings. And just to make sure you don't cross them up, please include the letter of the building in the answer. We're going to do A, B, C, D, E, F. So you say A is the something building, okay? Okay, here's the first image. Now remember to include the letter A in your answer, okay? This Portland building's been around for a while, opened in 1891. You might see a show here. So answer A is what? And I can just picture all your fingers going like that. I think that's enough. Okay, here's the second one. This is letter B, okay? This building is from about the same era as the last one. It was built in 1890. Isn't it grand? It originally housed a mortuary. Many of us had many lunches there, and we know about the mortuary part. Answer B is what? Okay, third one. Here we go. C. Here's the third and last one. It's recently listed on the National Register of Historic Places, okay? It's a landmark in Portland's African American community. So answer C. Answer C is what? Okay, great. Thank you all for playing. I emphasize the playing. The quiz included just a small number of the many, many buildings that make up Portland's landscape unique. The AHC works every day to bring you programs and projects about Portland's built environment and to ensure that our historic architecture remains a part of the city's future. If you believe in this work, please make a donation to the AHC, and you'll be supporting its programs and operations. You can make a donation at any time tonight. We'll not stop you. Fill in any amount at any time tonight. We also have an online auction happening right now. Just click on the auction button to get to the auction. You can bid on stays at regional vacation houses, so you don't have to get a plane right now. There are 2 excellent wine packages. There are a lot of different vintage items like period kitchenware and old posters. The auction is open through Sunday, February 28th at noon for your bidding, and noon is it. Katie?
Yeah, speaking of the auction, I want to take a moment and thank our 2021 auction sponsor, Earthquake Tech.
Yeah.
We are so grateful for the support of Steve Gemmell and the team at Earthquake Tech. Their work to protect Portland houses is so important. Let's watch this short video message from them.
Let's. Hey, thank you to Earthquake Tech for their ongoing and really generous support of the AHC. Now, we all know that 2020 was a challenging year, but despite all the challenges that we're experiencing in 2020, we still have a lot to celebrate. The AHC and Portland, too, reached some really important milestones in that past year. One of these is that Portland's Black historic sites were listed in the National Register of Historic Places. This is a culmination of over 25 years of work by the staff and volunteers at the AHC. It goes back to Cornerstones, doesn't it?
It certainly
does. A long
does.
time ago. In fact, the AHC was one of the earliest voices that spoke up about the need to recognize and protect the architecture of the Black community, especially because these buildings have such cultural value.
Yes, and that work has been carried through in recent years by our current staff, board, and volunteers, and it will continue to be a part of our work in the future. An ongoing goal that drives our work is to better understand all the diverse histories that are behind Portland's architecture. Mm-hmm. To tell you more about this, we have a video to share called One Site at a Time. And I want to thank emerging filmmaker and activist Devin Boss at Northeast Productions for creating this short film.
The year 2020 was a time of deep racial reckoning across America that saw calls for racial and social justice. It was also during this year that the Architectural Heritage Center saw over 2 decades of work on Black history, culture, and architecture culminate in a project that will help protect places important to Portland's Black community. Black lives matter, and Black places matter too. African American properties have been identified as among the most at-risk resources in Portland. As the city continues to face development pressure and see these vulnerable structures are sitting on high-value land, more will disappear from the landscape and from our memory unless we take steps right away to identify, designate, and protect them.
Recently, I was asked to help research Louisa Flowers and her family who lived in Northeast Portland. And the research was going to contribute to a permanent exhibit that was going to be in a new housing project in her honor, named in her honor, Louisa Flowers. And as I was working on the project, I was driving, and I said, I need some inspiration, so I drove by the 2 sites that I knew that they lived in, that her family lived in. But at that moment, they were being torn down, they were being deconstructed. We don't know our history. I think if people really understood the significance of those 2 buildings, there would have been greater efforts to save those 2 sites.
There are 700 sites in Portland included in the National Register, the list of places considered worthy of preservation by the federal government. Of the over 95,000 entries in the National Register of Historic Places, only 2% focus on the experiences of Black Americans. What counts as being worthy of preservation depends on how you count. In the 1990s, a project of the Architectural Heritage Center called Cornerstones broke new ground by finding 1,284 sites related to Black culture and history in Portland. This project counted sites that were meaningful to the stories and experiences of Black Portlanders, not just because they had architectural significance.
I would say Geneva's hair salon is one. Now, it's not architecturally significant in any way, but the events that have occurred there. And there was just a lovely article in the paper about my friend, the mayor of MLK. And Paul has now turned 90, and he has many, many stories and many activities occurred there. That's one of them. I would also have to say the Rutherford House is something that I'm glad was preserved and is now on the National Register. And my particular love, the Billy Webb's Elk Lodge. That is a wonderful building, started out as a YMCA for African Americans and now is also on the National Register of Historic Places.
Some of the studios of the artists who still have not been acknowledged, like Al Goldsby, Charles Tatum. Adrienne Cruz is a phenomenal Black woman artist here who's done a lot of public artworks, and her house she is made into a work of art.
In the summer of 2020, Portland's Black places were recognized by the National Park Service with a listing on the National Register, an outcome of a 3-year project that the Architectural Heritage Center undertook with the city of Portland.
When you don't feel like you have ownership of your community, you're not really motivated to be engaged. And I think for young people, they need to know that people settled here, mother and daughter across the Oregon Trail and built homes. You have people who were enslaved Africans that came with slave owners and eventually was emancipated and owned property before 1926 when it was legal to do so. And I think that's very significant to the culture, and that's why historic preservation is so important, just to help keep what's there and to remind us of what the community was like before gentrification. They need to understand their history to empower them to make a difference in their own community.
I feel that it's very important for people to know their past. It helps them inform their present, and it helps inform their future. And if we don't preserve or save some of the things from the past, we become unanchored. We don't know where we come from. And that's one of the things that's really important to me. The people in our community need to understand that the chapters of the book about the history of Portland are missing, and we need to keep adding those chapters to the story because they're all interrelated.
A building is an archive, a home is an archive and a collection.
Our work is not over. One site at a time, we can change what history we preserve.
A couple of our board members in that video. This video shows how decades of work by the AHC is helping to decrease the historic wrongs done to Portland's Black community. But it also shows that this work needs to continue. If you believe in this work, now is a good time to show your support. Just click on the auction or the donate buttons to give. So at this time, I'd like to introduce the Executive Director of the Architectural Heritage Center, Stephanie Whitlock. We were really fortunate to find Stephanie about 5 years ago. She's continued to strengthen and focus the mission of the Architectural Heritage Center. She has a special message about how this small but mighty organization has gotten through COVID and the other events and kind of come out strong.
That's right.
Hello, I'm so happy that you're joining us for this program tonight. It's hard to believe that because of the pandemic, it's been almost a full year since we had to close the doors of the Architectural Heritage Center and pause most of our in-person programs. At that time, we imagined the closure would last 1, maybe 2 months, but we quickly came to see that that would not be the case. But we're still here. Our amazing staff has not missed a single day of work. Our board has not skipped one board or committee meeting. Our building, the West Block, is standing by, ready to welcome you through its doors once we can reopen safely. And you're still here too. And that's a wonderful thing that you have chosen to be here with us tonight. It reveals what has always been true, that in this organization, we show up for each other. The pandemic has brought unexpected and significant changes to how we carry out our programs and how we operate day to day. We've had ongoing lost revenue in program registrations, museum entrance fees, and building rentals that will likely impact our operations for months and even years to come. Now, our organization has been through some tough times in the past. The 10-year renovation of our building into the Architectural Heritage Center, the recession, and the loss of beloved friends. But each time we come out stronger in many ways. That's because you are behind us and behind our work. We really rely on donations from individuals to get us through difficult times like these. But bigger picture, your gift is an investment that enables us to continue to grow and thrive. There are so many bright spots in 2020 and so far in 2021 that we're celebrating with you. Our expanded virtual programs have allowed more of you to engage with us. We're growing our walking tour program. We're planning new initiatives that build on our longtime work on African American architecture and culture. We're focused on ensuring that our work is more inclusive, equitable, and accessible. So we're asking at this moment, as we come together, please support our work. Every gift, no matter the amount, makes a difference. We celebrate and we cheer every donation. Thank you for your generosity, and mostly, thank you for being here.
thank you, Stephanie, for your leadership and for your vision for the Architectural Heritage Center. Something that comes to mind when I see the AHC video is how a small organization can accomplish with all this when so many people are dedicated to the mission.
That's right, Katie. Each one of us can make a difference when we pull together. I think that's a great inspiration for tonight. In fact, this is the part of the evening where we're going to ask you for your direct support, because your donations really are what make all of this possible. The dollars that you give make a big impact on our small organization and help our mission. We have a goal for tonight. That goal is $100,000. Wow. That's a challenge, I know it, but hey, as our city grows, our work grows too. As Stephanie said, we celebrate every donation, no matter what the level. We're all part of a collective effort to raise money for an organization that we care about. Every single donation will be counted as work towards our goal of $100,000.
Yes, and here's how to donate. Click on the donate button, grab your phone, text VISIT AHC, so VISIT AHC, to the phone number 56651. You'll get a text message that will take you through the payment process. Either way, when you donate, you can select an amount to donate or give a custom amount that is meaningful to you. If you need any help, call 503-231-7264. We have volunteers standing by. And as everyone is getting their phone or keyboard ready to donate, we want to start off this collective giving by thanking a group of folks. These individuals brought us over $4,600 closer to our goal tonight, thanks to the gifts that they chose to donate when they registered for this event. We really appreciate their generosity. They've gotten our thermometer warmed up. Oh, I see some familiar names out there. Oh, that's fantastic.
Okay. Katie, as people are starting to make their donations, can you tell us what these donations support?
Well, your money goes to our programs and operations. By programs, that could mean new exhibitions and the care and storage of our artifact collection, or any of the virtual programs that we've been presenting. When COVID hit last year, we worked quickly to produce new digital programs. We created over 20 digital programs in just 9 short months.
Whoa.
Yeah, like new videos about Portland architects. We have about 100 people signing up for each of our online talks so far this year. That's more than the folks in the lecture room could squeeze in. So the AHC is very excited about this. Right now, members get free access to these programs, but the fact is, creating virtual programs requires resources, like staff time and technical equipment.
So we're here tonight to support these endeavors. The AHC has been very resilient and adaptable over the past year, as we all have. We really want to thank our donors for stepping up during this challenging time so that the AHC can continue to do its work to produce programs about Portland's architecture, culture, and history. Okay, the donations are coming in. We're really excited to kick this off. We have started the giving tonight with a lead gift of $25,000 from Jim and Sue Kelly. That $100,000 doesn't look so far away anymore, does it? Thank you so much to Jim and Sue Kelly. Jim's been a long-time generous supporter to the organization. He's been part of our work since the earliest days. Jim knew our founders, Jerry Bosco and Ben Milligan. We're going to tell you a little story about Bosco and Milligan in just a second, but let's keep the giving going. We're asking everyone to give what they can in support of the AHC at any time tonight. Really, any time, any amount. Just hit that donate button and send it to us. Okay, now, to follow up on Jim's generous gift, we're going to throw out a fundraising challenge. We can start with anybody who wants to match Jim at $25,000. That's just great. But just in case, we'll start a category below. Let's go to anyone with the ability to commit $10,000 towards the goal. Let's do $10,000 and make that generous gift, and let's really move that thermometer up.
Yeah, and a reminder to donate, give a simple click on the donate button or donate by text to your phone. Text VISIT AHC to phone number 56651. It's really quick. Okay, so to tell you our first story, some of you know that the Bosco Milligan Foundation is the nonprofit under which the Architectural Heritage Center operates. It was founded by Jerry Bosco and Ben Milligan. These two men, who were life and work partners, were really just your average Portland neighbors. In the early 1970s, when Interstate 405 was under construction, Ben and Jerry became alarmed at how many historic buildings in Portland were being demolished, and they took what action they could. They began to buy several old buildings that were inexpensive and needed repair, including what is now the Architectural Heritage Center, and gradually restored many of them. They also salvaged whatever they could from buildings about to be torn down, everything from cast iron to doorknobs. Now, along the way, they met a few like-minded people. Before Ben and Jerry died of AIDS in the late 1980s, they established the Bosco Milligan Foundation to care for the large collection of artifacts the two men had accumulated and to restore the West Block building that is now the Architectural Heritage Center. This group of founders, many of whom are joining us tonight, carried through Ben and Jerry's wish to inspire people not just to preserve old buildings, but to understand the history they represent. We celebrate this legacy tonight, and we are raising funds to keep this vision going.
All right, yes, we are. During that story, we were seeing folks who are rising to the challenge. Let's check.
Wow. Oh my gosh, look at that go. And I want to add a big thank you, $10,000 from Steve Daughter and his partner, Kevin Krause.
Thanks, guys.
Steve is our board president, and we so appreciate his tireless work on behalf of our organization. Steve is also the chair of our advocacy committee and a walking tour docent. So if you win a quiz ticket, maybe you'll go on one of his tours. Thank you, Steve and Kevin. Yeah. Okay, I'm seeing, the things are just scrolling away. I see Keen and Rosemary McGee, thank you to my parents. Nicole, Nathan, Richard, Withicum.
Oh, look at the thermometer.
Oh, that's great. Fred Leeson and Barbara Coleman. Why, Fred Leeson and Barbara Coleman have given us $10,000. That's so amazing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks, Fred.
Let's have a big announcement for that, because, Alan, Fred has worn so many hats at the AHC, just like you, from president to advocacy volunteer.
Okay, I know people have been joining the program tonight from all over Portland. And this is kind of the advantage of a virtual fundraising event. We have people from all around Oregon. We have people from Maryland, Florida, Texas. And that's really amazing. We hope you can come to a live event when you have the chance. No matter what time zone you're in, we'd love to hear from you. Everyone, keep on donating, keep on pledging, because now is the time to see what we can accomplish if we pull together to support the AHC's work to educate and advocate for Portland's architecture, culture, and history. Now, there are a lot of ways to make a gift. Just in case you forgot, click on the donate button, text Visit AHC to 56651, or just call the center itself, 503-231-7264. It's already in your contacts. Someone will help you with processing your gift. Okay, any more 10,000s? It's okay. We're going to move on to 5,000 now. And if you think, oh gosh, I really wanted to donate 10,000, just go ahead and put in 10,000. It's okay. It's never too late. But let's go to 5,000. At the 5,000 level, we want to know anybody who would like to commit a gift at the $5,000 level. I know there must be some people out there who'd like to give a generous gift, very generous gift of $5,000 to the Architectural Heritage Center. We, of course, welcome donations at all levels, and we want to hear from you. So while you're getting your phone, your keyboard, calling in your pledge, we have another story to tell you. Everyone keep your donations coming. We're gathering them together, and we'll announce them soon.
Oh, I got to interrupt. Look, we have a $5,000 gift that just came in from George Imey. Thank you, Amy. Oh, my gosh,
Thanks,
always
George.
doing that. If we get your name wrong, you just call me up later and you complain to me.
We have the pronunciation police here.
Yeah,
it's all right.
it's true. Thank you so much for your great support. He's a longtime supporter of the AHC.
Yeah, old buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, yes, I did have a little story to tell you folks. There was a bench in the last video that we just watched. It looked a little worn, but it has quite a story. In the early 20th century, the Fox Theater in downtown Portland was one of our city's grandest theaters. In 1997, the theater closed to make way for what is now the Fox Theater. Fox Tower.
Yeah.
Yes. The building was stripped before it was demolished, and the AHC was able to save 2 benches from the theater. Although these benches were from a once grand theater, they do not represent the finest moments of our city's history. The benches were from the balcony of the theater where Black people were segregated from other guests during the shows. After storing these benches for decades, the last year, the AHC was able to gift them to another nonprofit, the Oregon Black Pioneers, where they are now showcased to remind us of this piece of Portland's history. We know not all of our city's stories are pretty, but they are worth knowing and learning from.
Okay, thank you. That's an important story for us to know. And while you were sharing that with us, we've been seeing the donations come in. Well,
oh my!
Can we read these?
Oh yes, let's read a few of these. Okay, so we have a wonderful donation from Deborah O'Neill for $100, Angela DeVita for $100 as well, Paul Falsetto $50,
Thanks, Paul.
Jane Morrison $200. Oh, look at that, Martha Dennison $2,500. Alan,
Yvonne.
thank you. Okay. We have a $5,000 gift I want to announce as well from Rick Michelson. Rick is one of our board members and such a committed preservationist.
Thanks, Rick.
Along with his partner, Karen Carlson, and the folks at Archiforum, were behind the relocation of the historic Morris Marks House to save it.
So anybody would like to join in at $5,000? Join Rick. Make your gift now. Katie, it's time to check in. What are you seeing?
Oh my gosh, they're rolling in. This is really exciting.
Yeah.
Where did I take off? Bill Failing gave us $25, and Margaret Rice gave us $25. Jane Morrison gave us $200. Oh, Kristen Miner gave us $250 and said, I hope this is just a drop in the big deluge. Okay, well, we do too. Tracy Simpson London, $100. Jim Green, $100. I really thank you folks so much for bringing this in. And I want to mention a couple others that are up here as well. We have $2,500 from Judith Reese, one of our advisory board members. $100 from Morgan Young, a board member. Okay, let's
check the monitor.
Yeah, let's check that monitor
we're
again.
on Dan Volkmer.
Oh, Dan Volkmer. How much did Dan Volkmer give?
Even
$250. He's already supported us, and he continues. Kimberly Fox at $250. Robert Gandolfi at $150. Oh my gosh, Eric Geiger at Geiger. I'm just getting these names, you folks. I am so sorry. $200. Sam and Tim Freeman at $100. Elizabeth Robinson at $50. It is heating up.
You getting tired? Do you want to do some of these?
Why don't you read a few of these?
We're making this up as we go along, so, whatever. Where were we? William Wilson, $250. Robert Warner, $100. Kerry Briggs, $100. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Connie Shipley, $150. Katie Larson, $100. Sarah Stevenson, $100. Cindy L. Crona, thank you. One of our staff, $100. Francine Grew, Francine, how you doing? $100. Lillian Carbone, or Carbone, Sorry, either way. $100. Brandon Spencer Hartle, $35. Thank you. Keen and Rosemarie, $100. Joe McMahon, $100. Richard Withicum, $250. Joanne and Norm Carlson, now there's a long-term board member, $400. Thank you. Nicole Nathan, $50. You want to do some?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Whoa,
the screen's going. I want to mention that, we also have a few board members that have talked to us beforehand, $1,500 from Joan Plank and Dave Williams. And Joan's a board member, and she's here to support us. We have $500 from Bill Hawkins,
thanks,
one
Bill.
of our advisory board members. Oh my gosh, we have $3,500 from Robert Kraft, who's a board member, and $100 from Kim Moreland, one of our board members.
Thanks,
and I want to take a moment. Kim mentioned that her gift is in memory of Raymond Burrell III. Raymond was the historian of the Vancouver Avenue Baptist Church, which is on the National Register. And he was dedicated to researching and saving buildings that are part of Portland's African American heritage. So I just want to take a moment to recognize these wonderful gifts.
Should we go back to the screen for a minute?
This is fantastic. Judith Kenny, $500.
Thank you.
Oh, Eileen Fitzsimons, thank you. $500. Oh, and Holly Ballastrom, $100. Thank you. Michael Rice, $100. Kim Moreland, $250.
$250 more.
Oh, but we've got a biggie there. Stephen Schapp. Okay, at $1,000. Wow, my eyes are starting to go a little blurry. This is so exciting.
Want me to take over, Bob?
Yeah, this is great.
Bob Clay and Susan Marmaduke. Thanks, Bob. $500. Sherry Sayer, $35. Marcy and Dave Wolf, $50. Ken Hawkins, $100. Tony and Marty Beluski, thank you, $250. Melanie Dittler, $50. And Christine Satterley, $250. This is overwhelming. This is like watching popcorn pop. They're just coming in here. So this is terrific. These gifts make such a difference. And we have some exciting news. We're going on. We've gone down some levels. Now we're kind of opening things up a little bit. We have a challenge from longtime supporter Alan Took. Alan has offered to match every donation that comes in at $1,000 and below, up to $15,000. So that means your gift is doubled. If you give $1,000, it becomes $2,000. If you give $250, it becomes $500. If you give $232.16, it becomes $464.36. So this is a big opportunity. If you're thinking, oh, well, I can only give so much, you give what you can give, and it becomes double. Katie, tell us what we can do with a gift of $1,000 or $500.
Well, for example, a $1,000 gift helps us care for our historic West Block building. It's 138 years old. Now, let's calculate. I'm not going to do that. We can do that later. It requires regular maintenance and repairs, not to mention there are those unexpected things that come up. A $500 donation, it enables us to recruit 5 new volunteers. Stephanie mentioned in her message that we're growing our walking tour program. A $500 donation has a lot of payoff because it can train 5 new docents, and that helps expand our tour program over time.
That's great. We've had some donations of $35, and you might ask, what can you do with $35?
You can do a lot with $35. Yeah. The AHC can purchase a book for its library, or we can offer free museum admission to a family of 4.
And keep in mind, it turns into $70, so even better. So you can know that your gift has made a difference, and don't forget that all of these matches are being matched 1-to-1 by Alan Took. Thank you, Alan. Up to $15,000. If you've been thinking of making a donation, now is a great time. So nudge your partner or your quarantine buddy, whoever's there, jump up and donate. Katie, you've been tracking the donations while we've been talking, right?
Yes, it's scrolling around a little bit, but I see Emily Satterley gave us $50. Thank you. Connie Shipley, $75.
Great.
Laurel Schweitzer, $100. And Patty Spencer, $100. Thank you so much.
And all of these are doubled.
Yeah, and let me give some shout outs as well. I see 500 from Sue Garretts, a longtime volunteer.
Sue, thank you.
She's helped us organize so many auctions over the year. $1,000 from Harris Matarazzo.
Harris, thank you.
One of our board members. Thank you so much. 700 from Larry Kojaku, a new board member.
My neighbor.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you to all of our board members tonight. $500 from Stephanie Whitlock, our executive director.
That's so nice.
Oh, $100 from Katie Neal. $1,000 from Judy Dauble.
Oh, thanks, Judy.
Oh, thank you.
Cool. Okay, now we're going to take a second quiz. You can keep donating, keep the donations coming, but while we're still tabulating, when we come back, we'll give you an update. And remember, right now, your donation is being doubled. So, you ready for another round of Name This Portland Building? Okay. Just like before, if you're going to play, and we're playing, having fun, you go to the chat window and type in your answer. There are going to be pictures of 3 buildings for you to identify, and the first person to answer each question by typing the correct answer in the chat windows wins a free ticket to the AHC architectural walking tour of your choice. Okay, here's the first one. This is D, as in Denison. The first image of this round is, remember, you need to put in the D. The Portland building, this Portland building is opened in 1913. Pretty familiar, but if you need a hint, you're going to want to check this one out. It's the home of the Wilson Room. Okay?
Okay.
This is D. You've typed that one in. All right, let's go to E. All right, here's our next quiz image. Include the letter E when you answer, and this building was built in 1883. It's currently the home of the Raven and Rose, and the original owner's house used to be across the street. You know this one? Answer E is what? Okay, let's do the last one. This is F, okay? F, our last slide for tonight. This is the last image for the quiz. It's going to be built, it was built in 1926 to 1928. Just in case you're pinning it down, it's a Northwest Portland landmark, and a pair of lions guard the entrance. Nice one. Okay, I think they're fast typers. Let's move right along. Okay, great job. We're tabulating the winners, and we're going to contact the winners next week, okay? So you're all winners in our esteem. And here are the quiz answers. Do we have the quiz answers? Yes.
Oh, yay!
Yes, we have the quiz answers now. Told you we were making
That's
this up.
Didn't want to leave you
adaptable.
hanging.
Okay, we want to take a look back at the donations to see what's coming in. And we have a really neat video about Darcel. Oh, Darcel, longtime historic preservation supporter, and Darcel's historic house. But first, we want to take a second to recognize the donations that came in during the quiz. Katie, let's have a check.
Yes, let me see, where was I? Okay, so Patty Spencer gave us $100. Oh, Edie Millar gave us $50. Thank you so much. We really appreciate these donations. Anne and Richard DeWolf, $500. They're also Archiform, who's a sponsor. Yeah. This is great to see our sponsors.
Anna, I believe.
Yes, Anna, thank you for stepping up. We have David Green giving $100, and Carrie Briggs gave another donation of $50 on top of her previous donation.
That's a good attitude.
Thank you, folks.
We'd like to encourage that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, a reminder that your gift has double the impact right now. Our friend Alan Toke is matching every donation that comes in at the $1,000 level and below, and there are lots of them, fortunately, up to $15,000. So that challenge is happening right now. Let's make a donation, and I know know that it's being doubled. So, Katie, I know we have one more video story, and in fact, tonight is the launch of this video. Can you tell us about it?
Yes, it's those of you tuning in are the first to see this special story called A Grand Old House. It's about the historic Queen Anne home owned by Walter Cole, who is best known as Darcel 15. Many of you know Darcel as the female performer at Darcel 15 Showplace. But what you might not know is that Darcel's house was put on the National Register of Historic Places last year. The video tells the story of a special connection between Darcel and her house and our organization's founders, Jerry Bosco and Ben Milligan. Thank you to the multi-talented Tom Cook for creating this video story. Let's watch.
Okay.
I found my home, and Roxy and I were looking for a cottage-sized Victorian. The realtor brought us here first, and I walked in, and I saw that staircase with all that wood, and I said, I'll take it. I don't care what the plumbing's like. I don't care what the electricity's like. I don't care if the roof leaks. I'm going to buy this house.
The house is undoubtedly architecturally significant because it's one of the few surviving examples of pre-1900 Queen Anne architecture.
This house has been around for 120 years or something like that. I'm not sure. A lot of people live here in that length of time.
It has so many distinctive features of a Queen Anne home, like the turret and wraparound porch. So many of these homes have been demolished over time due to urban renewal projects, freeway construction, or the gentrification of the area.
I didn't know anything about the house before. It didn't look like this then. There was just nothing on the walls and no, they're just not done like we wanted it.
With the stained glass windows, there was an intersection of people who came together in the late 1970s to preserve and restore the home. By the time Walter Cole purchased the home, all of the original windows had been removed by the original owners. Walter asked our organization's founders, Jerry Bosco and Ben Milligan, to create new windows for the home.
They were collecting iron front buildings as they tore them down. As you know, in the 50s, everything had to be torn down and made modern. Their glass shop was on Grand Avenue. We met them and we wanted the glass put in because they were all been taken away, of course, over the years.
The windows that Bosco and Milligan created were true to the original windows that had been in the home, but they also managed to reflect Darcel's colorful personality. They
designed them. We wanted red roses in them because that's my red rose of happiness for being Empress. And that's all we told him. And then when we decided this room was going to be a collection of crowns, we decided that this window would be a crown, my crown, and 15 roses. Well, Ben and Jerry came over, installed it, And I said, take it out because you didn't put 15 roses in there. There was only 14. Without any fuss, they took it away and put a little rosebud right at the edge over there. You'll see on the side, the little rosebud. Well, it was a rose though, wasn't it? I was in the back of the house and they came to install the doors. I stayed away while they put them in. And when I walked into the foyer, I wept. It was so beautiful. They did such a beautiful job with them. I didn't follow along. They were just talented young men. I didn't go knocking on their door and say, could I see them please before you do this and this and this.
Over time, the Elmer and Lenny Miller House will become even better known as Darcell's house. Walter Cole's, or Darcell's, decades-long association with Portland's gay culture and his support of that culture is absolutely remarkable. So his house will really become a part of Portland's LGBTQ history.
I'm sure they didn't put much love and caring in anyone else's. I think they really enjoyed the fact that we bought this house almost in their neighborhood and we started to fix it up and bring it back to what it was. A grand old house.
I'm proud to say that staff and volunteers at the Architectural Heritage Center were a part of the effort to get Darcell's home, the Miller House, on the National Register. In fact, research began on the project and it started at the AHC.
Of course.
So your support tonight enables us to continue to do work that directly impacts Portland's older buildings.
Okay, so let's check on how we're doing, and we're not entirely sure what the time lag is here, so it may not be up to date, but let's read some more of the names here.
Yeah, well, I see Holly Nelson gave us $100. Thank you, Holly. Michael and Russell, $500. Oh my gosh, Bill and Michelle Failing, $100. They came in with a second donation. Thank you. Jean Savage, $25. Brooke and Bob Best, $500, also a second donation.
Yeah, we like that. Match yourself.
This is so heartwarming to see everybody's donations coming in.
This is terrific. We're not entirely sure that we're including everybody because, I don't know, time lag, how fast we can type and so forth. But if you're making a donation, you will be acknowledged. Maybe not right this second, but we're getting there. So what do we have? Can we count on your gift? You can continue to give tonight, tomorrow, really anytime. If you're worried about the donate button, honest, mail us a check. It's okay. Those are still just fine. Your gift will count towards the goal to raise the funds for the Architectural Heritage Center. We have a slide?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Just a final reminder that the online auction is open through this Sunday, February 28th at noon. So you have 3 days, 2.5 days to win those special items. Katie, can you tell us about a couple of the items that are on the list?
Yeah, for a little R&R, we've got a weekend stay in the San Juans. For your home, we have beautiful art glass windows, a gift certificate to Pratt & Larson Tile Outlet store, a consultation package donated by Craft Custom Construction. Good. And if you're the more practical type, an emergency gas shutoff valve donated by Earthquake Tech, our auction 2021 sponsor. Yeah, we have special experience packages like a private group tour of the Grand Avenue Historic District and a fancy champagne tea, a great outing for a birthday or family reunion. There are also raffles. Folks, you could win a 5-day stay at a beach house. All you have to do is click the auction button, enter your bid. If there's something you really want, click on Buy It Now to make it yours.
And I think some of those are going, so don't dilly-dally. If you want to buy it now, buy it now. But the actual closing of the auction is going to be Sunday, February 28th at noon, so keep bidding. And thank you again, really, to Earthquake Tech for being our auction sponsor. It's great. Thank you to our presenting sponsor of the 2021 Portland House Party Virtual Gala, the Dan Volkmer team. Thank you, Dan. Thank you to the platinum sponsor, Charles Schwab. And thank you to the gold sponsor, Archiform. And also to the silver sponsors, Craftsman Design and Renovation, Laurel Asset Management, and McCoy Millwork. Okay, so let's take a final look at the thermometer, and some donations are coming in. What do we have?
We're super close. Let me let you know about these donations that are coming in. Denise McGriff gave us $50. Katie Larson gave us $50, a second donation. Karen Carlson, thank you so much, $100. That's going to be a second donation. And Lincoln Turchow is $100, also a second donation. Oh my gosh.
All right. We're not sure what the lag is here. We think we're making it because it shows it is almost there.
Yeah, I think when those
we
get
have
in.
another 2.5 days for the auction and donations. I'm saying we made it.
I think
what do you
so.
say? Hey!
Yeah.
Whoa!
I totally failed. We're out of practice. Wait, can you can we spray this?
They got it right here.
Can we spray this?
No, that's all right. How are we doing?
Oh my gosh, did we do it?
$35?
Oh, we're
I'm
so
not
close.
sure.
So close. We gotta sanitize here, folks.
Okay.
We gotta sanitize.
I'm pretty sure we got there.
Oh, Gene Zondervan gave us $50.
All right,
Thank you, Gene.
$50, all right?
Yeah. Oh.
Technological challenge here. Okay, I'm pretty sure we're going to make this. And thank you so much for bringing up the $100,000. So don't worry. You can still donate. We'll keep this going. You can do the auction. You can mail us a check. And honestly, you can tell we're wrapping it up here. It's because of you that this evening has been a successful, special evening. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate all the donations that you've sent in now. This is an absolutely wonderful thing, an important evening to benefit the AHC. And next year, we're hoping we can do this in person. So to everybody, hugs and kisses and handshakes. We'll see you next year.
Yeah, from all of us at the AHC, this has been a lot of fun, and a big thank you to everyone watching for your generosity. A recording of this live broadcast will be available online through the AHC website. Okay, you can share it with your friends and family. We do have a couple more. Okay, we have Harley Cohen, $50, and you know, folks, we made it. We're over. We're over.
Oh, there we go. Now it shows.
Oh my gosh!
Right.
Share this with your friends and family who could not attend. If they love what we're doing, encourage them to give a gift in support of our work. Thank you, folks.
Okay,
Good
we have to
night.
go. Keep it going. Good night.